Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the 3 ways to make sure you get every penny you deserve if you or a loved one has been injured in a truck crash. Okay? We're talking about garbage truck, commercial vehicle, Pepsi truck, over-the-road trucker, big delivery truck, whatever it is. If you're in a truck crash, that's what we're talking about today. So the first thing that you need to do if you or a loved one has been involved in a truck crash is make sure it is reported. Make sure there is a police report. Now, in most truck crashes, the crash is so significant that that's not even really a big issue, and that's why number one is just sort of a bonus. But it is very, very important that that stuff gets documented. And if it's a serious crash or a fatal crash on the expressway, not a lot of people know this, but the Illinois State Police bring in a specially trained accident reconstructionist investigator, and inside that report is a lot of information based on their truck inspection to see if the mechanical condition of the truck caused or contributed to the crash, or if fatigue or other impairment by the driver is what caused the crash. So a lot of lawyers don't know to order that report. They just get the police report, but the police report is super valuable. You have to get it. But boy, you need to get that accident reconstruction report in case of a serious injury or death, right? Or certain kinds of trucks, depending on what they're transporting, they have to do one of those detailed reports the state does anytime they're in any kind of crash due to state and federal regulations. But you need somebody on your side who knows how to get that, because that's how you build a strong case. But obviously report it and make sure that if it's that kind of case, you're getting all of the police documentation and all of the investigation documentation, because that becomes the foundation for building a strong case against the trucking company. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, do not delay and do not cut your medical treatment short. Okay, I represent so many people who frankly are just like me. I don't like going to the doctor. I got a life to live. I don't want to spend the money. Who likes going to the doctor these days? I don't think too many people do. But if you are involved in a truck crash and you delay a long time before going to the doctor, you're actually handing the truck insurance companies a defense to the case, because they'll get in front of a judge and jury and say, look, if somebody's hurt bad, what do? They go to the doctor. If they don't go to the doctor, what does that tell you? Now, everybody knows what we just talked about. Nobody likes going to the doctor. Guys especially hate going to the doctor, right? We all know it, but believe it or not, in front of a judge and jury at trial, that argument works, and it reduces the value of people's cases. So if you're hurt, go to the doctor, follow the doctor's advice, don't mess around, don't miss appointments. And I also have a lot of people in the past who I've represented who cut their treatment short. They tough it out for 2 months and then call me up and say, hey, can I go back to the doctor? And I'll tell you the same thing I tell them. Of course you should, because your health is number one. I always tell people I represent, your health is number one, and any treatment decision you make for yourself, that's number one. The healthcare decisions you and your family make for your loved one, that's on you. You can ask me my advice or my opinion, but your health is number one, and I build your case around your medical choices. But what I'm saying is, if you're like, I'm tired of going to the doctor, I think I'm getting better, a lot of times it's wishful thinking. And you go back to work for a month or two, and then you're in worse shape. But when you have what's called a treatment gap like that, it makes a judge and jury looking at the case saying, well, wait a minute, did he have another accident? Because he told the doctor on his last visit that he was feeling a lot better and wanted to get discharged. Then 2 months went by, and then he comes back with a lot more pain. Was he painting his house and he fell off the ladder? Did he fall down the stairs? Are they trying to pull a fast one on us? That's the way defense attorneys argue these cases. And this is, it reduces the value of your truck crash injury case by quite a bit when that happens, right? The third way to increase the value of your truck crash case is make sure that you are working with a doctor who has your back, right? So I've seen this happen a lot. There are a lot of great surgeons out there, but there are also some surgeons out there who, the minute they do surgery on you and they collect the fee, that's it. They don't want to see you anymore. They don't want to hear that you're in pain anymore. Now, you have to have extreme confidence to be a surgeon, because think about what you're doing. You're cutting into a living human body and fixing the inside and then sewing them up and fixing their problem. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. You need to have a strong ego to be able to do that kind of work. But ego becomes hubris when a surgeon does surgery on you and you complain of pain and the surgeon ignores you. I mean, I've probably represented at least 30 or 40 people in my career with surgeries where after the surgery, as soon as the surgery was done, the surgeon's attitude toward the injured person changed. And any comment regarding ongoing pain or problems, the surgeon started suggesting in their records that they weren't being honest. Now, in those cases, what happens is a lot of times the injured person will switch to another doctor, which isn't always easy to do, because the second surgeon already knows that the first surgeon collected a surgical fee, and what if that first surgeon messed something up? Now the second surgeon might be stepping into a medical malpractice problem, or a problem that the first surgeon created, or choice of surgery, or choice of surgical techniques, or hardware choices that the second surgeon doesn't agree with, and that makes the injury harder to treat, right? But there are surgeons who will do it for you. And I will tell you, in most of the cases where my clients had a surgery, their surgeon sort of turned against them, they went to another surgeon, they ended up having a second surgery, and in some cases a third and a fourth, and their problems improved. So make sure you're working with a doctor who is on your side, who explains what's going on and listens to you, and you have a good rapport with them. Last thing I'll say, I'm not even going to number it, is working with an attorney familiar with trucking, familiar with agency law, familiar with trucking paperwork, familiar with all the little wrinkles of truck accident cases, can really make the difference between a solid case and a case that fully compensates you for everything the law says you're entitled to. The law says you're entitled to it, but you have to have somebody who knows how to go get it for you, right? And, you know, based on what I've seen in my career, some lawyers are better at it than others, but that's like anything else in life. For example, I'm a terrible basketball player. You would not want me on your basketball team. If anyone tried to pick me anything less than second to last or last in a pickup basketball team, I literally wouldn't let them. I would tell them, nope, you pick me last, buddy. I'm terrible. In fact, your team's probably going to be better if I just hug the bench. It's just not my sport, right? Well, personal injury law is my sport. So if you or a loved one has been hurt and you need to talk to a lawyer, even if you just have questions, I offer a free consultation. You can call me anytime, day or night, 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Happy to talk to you, completely free, no obligation. Some people aren't ready to talk to a lawyer, and that's why I built two really cool tools for injured people on my website. One is called the Case Cash Calculator, link in the description, and the other one is called the Good Case Calculator. The best thing about these things is they're right on my website. The links are in the description, completely free, no obligation to use. The second coolest thing is it literally takes you 10 to 20 seconds to fill in the calculator. It's like 6 multiple choice questions. And then 10 to 20 seconds later, you have an answer to your question of about what your case settlement value might be. Or in the case of the Good Case Calculator, it tells you whether it looks like you have a good case or a case that has some challenges. So I encourage you to take a look at those, build them right there for you, and they're on my site for free to use. Last thing I will say, or second to last thing I'll say, is if you enjoy my video, please subscribe, give me the thumbs up. YouTube likes to see that, and it promotes my videos, and it gets more people to see my videos, so that's always good. Lets me spread the word to injured people and find injured people who need representation or have questions. So if you do subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then you'll be notified of every time I release a new video. Last thing I'll say is if you enjoy my information that I provide free to injured people, and you enjoy the tools on my website, or any of the information I provide has helped you if you would be so kind as to leave me a 5-star review on Google, it would really help my business. I'm a small, independent office, and I always will be, because that's how I like to practice law. I don't want a bunch of partners, you know, infighting and all that. Life's too short. I'd rather be an independent lawyer, but that means I compete against the big boys, the multi-million-dollar guys, the out-of-state guys who just have swept into the Chicagoland area and are spending millions of dollars a year on TV. So it's very competitive, and people really rely on Google reviews to decide who to call. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a 5-star review on Google, I'll leave a link in the description. You just cut and paste that into a web browser on your phone, tablet, or PC, and it takes you right to the page. You click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. 5 seconds for you, invaluable favor to me, which I really appreciate. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate you. You guys are the reasons why I'm on this channel and why I do what I do. So I really appreciate you, you guys watching and liking and subscribing. And I truly do hope that you and your family never need an injury lawyer. And I hope everyone in your family is happy and well. But if you or anyone you know needs a lawyer, I sure would appreciate the referral. That number again, 312-500-4500. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.